Imagine you're the king of a mountain, but the mountain itself is starting to shake. That's Home Depot in 2025. On the surface, they look like the same orange-blooded giant we know, but underneath, they are pulling off a pivot so massive it's essentially a corporate heart transplant. Today, we're going beyond the aisles of hammers and nails to see how HD is trying to own the very bones of the American economy. First, the wow number, $164.7 billion in sales. To put that in perspective, that's enough money to buy every single person in New York City a brand new Tesla. But wait, don't pop the champagne just yet. While they're selling more than ever, their actual take-home pay, net income, dropped by 4.4%. It's like getting a raise at work, but realizing your rent just tripled. They are bigger, but are they better? Why the squeeze? Simple, nobody is moving. High interest rates have turned the American housing market into a game of musical chairs, where the music has stopped, and everyone is glued to their seats. When people don't buy new houses, they don't buy new kitchens. Home Depot's organic bread and butter is shrinking, and they've realized they can't just wait for the Fed to lower rates. So what do you do when your casual customers stay home? You go after the big fish. Home Depot just spent $18 billion. Yes, billion with a B, on SRS and GMS. They aren't buying more stores, they're buying the guys who fix your roof and pave your pool. They're moving from do-it-yourself to do-it-for-me, targeting a $450 billion professional market. It's a shift from selling a screwdriver to owning the entire construction site. But expansion isn't free. Their profit margin took a hit, dropping to 12.7%. Why? Because buying other companies is like adopting a teenager. It comes with a lot of baggage and integration costs. They're also paying their staff more and dealing with the lower profit nature of wholesale distribution. They're playing the long game, but the short term is looking a bit lean. Look at this pie. Nearly 8% of their entire empire now comes from companies they didn't even own a year or two ago. That's inorganic growth, essentially buying a bigger house because your own rooms are full. It shows how dependent they've become on M&A to keep the revenue needle moving while the retail side cools down. Now let's talk about the Sidekick. No, not Robin. It's an AI app. Home Depot is using computer vision to play a massive game of Where's Waldo with their inventory. Instead of a worker wandering around looking for a box of light bulbs, the AI tells them exactly where to go. It's about squeezing every penny of efficiency out of those orange aprons. Here's the scary slide. Look at that short-term debt. It exploded by over 1,300%. That's the credit card bill from their $18 billion shopping spree. Their total debt is now nearly $50 billion. The good news? They have the cash flow to handle it. The bad news? There won't be any extra pocket money for stock buybacks for a while. The rainy day fund is being used to pay off the mortgage. Most people think of Home Depot as a store. They want you to think of them as a giant Amazon for construction. Half of their online orders are picked up in store. Their 2,300 stores aren't just shops. They're mini warehouses sitting in your neighborhood. That last mile advantage is their secret weapon against pure e-commerce players. The plan is clear. 2024 was for buying, 2025 was for organizing, and 2026 is for paying the bills. They're pausing the share buybacks to fix the balance sheet. They're aiming to own 15% of the entire Pro ecosystem by 2027. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and they're currently in the uphill phase. CEO Ted Decker says it best, they are building a reliable delivery engine. They've realized that being the best hardware store isn't enough anymore. They want to be the infrastructure that builds America. It's a bold vision, but as we've seen, it's also an expensive one. What are people actually buying? It's a three-way split between building materials, decor, and tools. Each is a $50 billion business on its own. While you might only buy one drill a year, contractors are buying lumber and concrete every single day. That's the heartbeat of this company. Now, let's be honest. There's a crater-sized risk here. If interest rates stay high, the housing turnover won't recover. Also, their auditors are worried about how they value their inventory. $25 billion of stuff is a lot to count accurately. If they mess up the math during this merger, it could get ugly. Who's driving the bus? The board is focusing on cybersecurity and responsible sourcing. They're keeping a close eye on their global supply chains, including sensitive regions like China, ensuring everything follows international standards. They're playing it safe with the rules of the game. Looking ahead to 2026, don't expect fireworks. It's going to be a year of operational discipline. They're spending $4 billion to keep the lights on and the tech running, but the focus is on paying back that $18 billion debt. If you're looking for a quick moonshot, this isn't it. If you're looking for a giant that's fortifying its castle, this is the one to watch. So is Home Depot still the king of the hill? They've certainly built a bigger hill, but now they have to prove they can stay on top of it. If you want the full, raw data behind this analysis, head over to HDIN Research at www.hdinresearch.com. Drop us a comment. Do you think the SRS deal was a genius move or a desperate grab? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.